Cops wanna kill me cause I'm black. Ops wanna drill me cause I'm black. Can't get no job cause I'm black. She wanna fuck me cause I'm black. My dad don't like me cause I'm black. But she Hispanic, so she black. Ain't got no time for none of that. Bitch, I'm a Jew, so I'm black. Cops wanna kill me cause I'm black. Ops wanna drill me cause I'm black. Can't get no job cause I'm black. She wanna fuck me cause I'm black. Her dad don't like me cause I'm black. But she Hispanic, so she black. Ain't got no time for none of that. Bitch, I'm a Jew, so I'm black. I can't fight the cops and the ops. Toting Glocks heavy on the block. While a crack tucked in the sock. Instead help the ones I love. We was on the block for the grub. If you from my side, then it's love. Wanted big knots, busting out the jeans, but we was hurting on the fiends. Without that crack, he look just like me. Dirty nigga from the concrete. But the white man dealt his hand, so we eating out the trash can. People ride by, don't extend a hand, cause to them, this an average black man. So for him, that's why I gotta make it. I ain't talking rap. Before the slave ships, I'm one of a kind. Y'all can't take it. I can never leave my spot vacant, cause I'm black. I see crowns and I take it, cause I'm black. I never been in no spaceship, but I know a UFO when I see it. I know that it's gonna come when I need it. I put faith in God more than Bible reading, so I don't play that shit. Address them when you see him. Cops wanna kill me cause I'm black. Ops wanna drill me cause I'm black. Can't get no job cause I'm black. She wanna fuck me.
Check.
Working now. Hey, Shalom, Israel. We're about to get started. The audio was definitely off. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hey, what's good, y'all? This is the Walker Bar. This is the law and history class. I'll be getting mixed up with Black Authentic Truth sometimes, but I'm the Walker Bar. I'm at the Walker Bar. This is the law and history class. I got the newly raised trooper Jeremiah up in here, and I got Officer I.S.U.P.K, Yahanna. You understand? And so we gonna talk about whatever comes up. This is a scripture breakdown class. There's no particular topic, but I am we're gonna play that video with Commander Jenny Yahanna destroying that white supremacist. I don't know who he is, but I had seen him before going in on some I think it was some Puerto Ricans that went on a live stream with him, and they were saying how much they love him, and he said, I can't stand you MFers. I don't even like you. And you should have seen the look on their faces, right? Yeah, so if there's any questions in the room, online, we'll get into it. If not, we'll just go over some law real quick. Talk about fornication. All right. Because in the Christian church, they got it, they got a different understanding. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, of course, you grew up in the Christian church, in the Catholic church, and you lightly, you barely know the Bible. You know what I'm saying? You don't matter. I ain't gonna even say barely. You do not really know what is in the Bible versus what is Christian dogma, what is, philosophy in the tradition of men. If you could, if you could get me Colossians 2:8, talk about that, the traditions of men. Yeah, in the Christian church, there's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of beliefs that you will ask a Black or a Hispanic Christian about God or about what is, things about life as far as, getting married and, having sex and adultery and, things like that. And they be completely off. It be literally the traditions of men. It be literally something that is just a theology that when you really open the Bible and you start to read, you start to find out that everything that you thought about, God and about how things work was a lie. And this is the reason why right here. Go ahead, if you could.
The book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through through philosophy and vain deceit.
That's right there. It said, beware lest any man spoil you. There's a lot of definitions for the word spoil But Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you are spoiled because you done been destroyed and you done lost your identity, and you're still, so you are like lost sheep. You are a sheep without a shepherd. You're a people without an identity. And so you are spoiled. And then you get even further spoiled in America by the philosophies. The Bible says to what? To beware.
Beware, lest any man spoil you.
This is a warning, just like how you have people have on their gates, beware, dog. You know what I mean? People will put a sign up if they have a dog, a guard dog, to say, beware, there's a dog. Don't just come up in my gate. Don't just walk up and put your hand over the gate. You probably can't see it, but there is a dog here.
Right.
He might latch on to your hand. It's giving you a warning, beware, because it was going to be a lot of philosophies. We live in a world full of philosophies. We live in a world full of things that people hear one time and say, you know what? I like that. I'm going to live by that. Literally, you're a person in the world, their favorite rapper, actress, singer could say something, post it online, and people was like, that's goals. I'm going to live like that. You know, I'm going to live my life like Beyonce. I'm going to live my life like whoever, Chris Brown or whoever. I'm going to follow what this person said. Literally in the world. So not just what people in the world, but people in your everyday life, people in your family have things that they say that's been passed on. One of the things you hear in the Black community is to each their own. Right. Like basically, you know, if that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing. I'm not worried about it. It doesn't affect me. That's your business. You know what I mean? Which that's a philosophy. That's what a lot of people live by. That's a creed. A lot of people, you know, you tell them, you know, such and such son is over here, you know, he's stealing, you know, he bullying, and they say, well, to each his own. It's not, he not bothering my kids. Right. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
After the tradition of men.
After the what?
After the tradition of men.
The traditions of men are a lot of things that we follow in America. There's just traditions of men, and many Christians, many Catholics think that these are traditions of early church fathers. They think these are traditions of God. They think these are things that Christ actually did, like celebrate his birthday on Christmas. Christ never celebrated his birthday. Birthdays were not important to the Israelites. It was not even, to celebrate a birthday was not even customary in Israelite culture. Right. It was not a thing in Israelite culture. It was a heathen thing. How do we know that? Because we know that from the Bible. Only heathens celebrated their birthdays, and only people who were not, you know, what is it? Herodotus, his wife, what was it? His wife's birthday? Herodias, when they beheaded John the Baptist. You know what I mean? You had the Egyptian that was celebrating his birthday. These are customs of heathens. You understand? But you would think that these are traditions that are godly, that God is pleased when he see you celebrate your birthday. God is pleased when you thank him on your birthday and say, thank you, Lord, for allowing me to make it to my 31st. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have made it, Lord. Thank you. Or you think God is pleased when you say, what is another thing people do? What is something else people do? A tradition that they think God is pleased with. Go ahead.
They try and bless the food at Thanksgiving.
Bless the food at Thanksgiving. Grandma, to make everybody, even your weed smoking cousins, come in the house so they can stand around the table and say grace before they start eating Thanksgiving dinner, which is a celebration of the destruction and the genocide of the North American Indians, the indigenous, right. Our brothers, the Gadites. Read it from the top again.
The book of Colossians chapter 2, verse 8.
Beware,
lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
And vain deceit, just vanity. It's just a deceitful lie. Deceit, being deceived. You deceived when somebody lies to you, when somebody tells you something that is not true, and it's useless, it's worthless, it's vain, meaning it's worthless, it's useless, it's meaningless. Right. You know what I mean? I think they named the vanity. You know, you stand up in the window in the restroom, they call it a vanity. And you look at yourself, and, you know, a woman, you know, hooks herself up and puts the eyelashes on and the makeup on and does her hair. And it's vanity. It's it's vain. I'm not saying don't do that, but I'm just giving you an idea of the deceit, the things we believe from people that we hear just here in the world. Our church pastors and priests, we hear that from people we hear people that follow that, or they even probably heard it from the grandmother or the grandfather, and say, I'm gonna live by this. This is a creed that my grandfather lived by, my great grandfather lived by, and I'm gonna live by it because it seems righteous. They got a saying that they say, what is it? Cleanliness is closer to godliness. That's not in the Bible. There's so many things you can just name that you grew up hearing. God loved the sin, but he God hate the sin, but he loved the sinner. There's so many things that you grew up hearing, as far as church-wise and religion-wise, that you don't even realize they're not even in the Bible, but people believe them wholeheartedly. They will argue, a Christian will argue with you up and down about God loves everybody, but you can't actually find that in the Bible, though. God does love Israel. He does love his people. Christ, he does love the whosoever is not talking about everybody. Right. You know what I mean? And so a lot of people have been spoiled throughout the centuries, throughout our generations, and it's just vain deceit. Read it from the top, please.
Come on, God. The book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. After the tradition of men.
After the what?
After the tradition of men.
After the traditions of men. Go ahead.
After the rudiments of the world.
After the rudiments of the world.
And not after Christ.
And not after Christ. So you're following something that is really after men. It's like Christmas is we coming up on what? Halloween. Thanksgiving. Then Christmas. These things are traditions of men. They have nothing. Well, we know these are traditions of men, the first two, right? We know. But the Christian church them figured out a way to have people come to the Christian church and celebrate Halloween as to be a safer way for your kids to get candy. Go ahead.
Right. So like even all the dead presidents' birthdays and Christopher Columbus Day, the day that just passed, you literally celebrating the day that Christopher Columbus supposedly discovered the America. Like that's literally a tradition after a man.
After a man. Literally a tradition after a man. That was a good point about it. Literally a tradition after man. And then, Native Americans tried to, fight that with Indigenous Day?
Yeah. Indigenous People Day.
Yeah, they try to fight that indoctrination of their people, which Native Indians are not pleased with Thanksgiving. And you should be ashamed if you're a black person, if you're Mexican, if you're Puerto Rican, and you trying to celebrate Thanksgiving, you know what I mean? That's your people's rape, robbery, and murder. That's a celebration of oppressor destroying a people. You should be ashamed of that. You understand? You should not partake in that. You know what I mean? You should not partake in that. I'm sorry, read it one more time, please. And then we'll get to the what you call it? The law. Fornication and things of that nature. What I'm talking about is how people believe one thing and it's not in the Bible. And when I go into the law on fornication, Christians and people in general believe fornication is basically what you call cheating, like adultery. That's what Christians usually think fornication is, or just having casual intercourse with people. That's what they think fornication is. Okay, go ahead.
Come on. The book from the top.
Please.
The book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. After the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ.
So that last part is the most important part. Is like you got to ask yourself, are these things that we're doing, are these things after Christ? Are these things fulfilling what Christ said to do? Go ahead, Abad.
So like if I made one more point, this scripture right here is even cutting the Christian's favorite scripture, John 3:16. It says after rudiments of the world and not after Christ. So
exactly. Meaning it's not like you can't love the whole world. Right. Meaning the whole world is not relevant. The whole world is not what Christ is about. He's not about everybody coming together and holding their hands. Abad, you probably too young to know, but when I was growing up, there was there was a it was real big, you know, music videos and stuff. And there was this song called "We Are the World," and it had like Michael Jackson. Right. I remember Michael Jackson, but it had all of the top singers coming together, singing and everything, and everybody singing. And you know, the good singers sound good, and you know, the Edomites sound terrible. I mean, it was no, you know, it just didn't flow. Right. You know, everybody came together, but it just didn't work. You know, it didn't sound good. You know what I mean? Right. Similarly, that's what we think. We think we're all supposed to come together, and that's not what the Bible is even about. Right. The Bible is a book about the laws, the statutes, the prophecies, and the history of one nation of people, right. The 12 tribes of Israel. That's what the Bible is all about. You know what I mean? If you could, let's get fornication. Let's get Leviticus 20 and 11. If you could, please. That's what the Bible is about, one group of people, man. And it's not the people that's in Israel today. Those people are not the people that the Bible is talking about. And you would have to be someone who is unlearned, someone that believes the traditions of man, to fall and think that those were actually God's chosen people. The Bible is written in a way that you know that this book was black people. You know what I mean? As far as the prophecies, the parables, the allegories, the metaphors, you know what I mean? It was all black and Hispanic people. Go ahead.
Right. 20 and 11.
Please.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 11. And the man that lieth with his father's wife hath uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them shall surely be put to death.
Now we're going into some fornication. Now, this should be obvious to a lot of people, but we know when it comes to one race of people, this is something that, you know, we've heard about. We've heard about this from one group of people in America. We heard of these type of relations, these type of relationships. We heard this before. Read it from the top.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 11.
And
the man that lieth with his father's wife hath uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them.
This is what these are breakdowns of what fornication is. You know what I'm saying? A man sleeping with his father's wife.
Right.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But I've seen that before in this evil world that we live in.
Right.
And you know, I've seen it in two ways. I've seen it with white folks doing it. And I've also, you know, there are stories, and this is not to the fault of, you know, our ancestors, but there are a few slave narratives where unknowingly a man has slept with his mother, meaning they was separated when he was a child, and then they find each other in a whole nother state, not knowing that this is her son and this is his mother. And then, you know, the shocker, the bad news comes out. A terrible, terrible situation, but it has happened during slavery. Okay. But not by choice. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 12. And if a man lie with his daughter-in-law, both of them shall surely be put to death, that they have wrought confusion, their blood shall be upon them.
They done brought confusion. The man sleeping with his son's rib.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's crazy. That's that talk show crap that y'all be watching. I know y'all be watching that crap. That's you know, something, a dynamic that, you know, it happens. And this is the definition of fornication. This is what real fornication is. Okay? Keep going.
Verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination.
That's another one. That's one of the ones that we do know, because in the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, we go over that so much because of the LGBT community and the push to indoctrinate Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, particularly children at young ages, by putting it into their mind that this is a viable lifestyle, that this lifestyle is a natural lifestyle. And, you know, love is love. Love, you know, it don't matter who you love, long as it's love. You understand? Which the Bible says that if you are in a same sex union, that is an abomination. Is that what it said? Please read it again.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
If a man also lie with mankind as he lies with a woman.
If you lie with another man like you're supposed to lie with a woman, because the natural use of a man is to be with a woman and vice versa. The natural use of a woman is to be with a man.
Right.
That is the, like, how did we get here? Like, we wouldn't be here. Even the people that are participating in that right now and they are in relationships like that, they wouldn't even be here if not for the fact that their mother was with their father.
Right.
Not that their mother was with another woman or their father was with another man. They would literally not exist right now. So common sense and basic logic tells you that is the way that things should go. That is the way how humanity has grown and how we have been fruitful and multiplied.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 14. And if a man take a wife and her mother if a man take a wife and her mother, it is wickedness.
And that's another thing that you see, and this has happened also with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, thinking that this is something cool. You get cool points for being, the playboy, the pimp type brother that is able to not only have sex with a woman, but also her daughter.
Right.
And being able to brag about it and say, yeah, I done have relationships with a mother and a daughter. You know what I'm saying? Or, in the other way, I don't know if it's going to go into that, two sisters, two siblings. These things are unlawful. The things that we're covering right now is unlawful sex. This is called fornication. This is the real definition of what fornication is.
Right.
Okay. Keep reading.
Come. Both they shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, that there be no wickedness among you.
The Lord didn't want that type of wickedness amongst the Israelites. The Lord didn't want that around our people. So in order to, get that type of wickedness from around the nation, you would just have to be destroyed. You would just have to be eliminated. Newsflash, when they talk about the problems and the issues of the Black community, there is an answer for that. There is a way to clean up your community, but it will have to be following the law, statute, and commandments under the I.S.U.P.K, under Commander General Yahanna, under Christ. It will have to be that way in order for your community to get cleaned up. We can clean the community up if we follow the law, if we do what we're supposed to do, and the Lord is with us. We can clean the community up of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We can stop drugs. We can stop gang violence. We can stop it all. We can stop it all because we were doing it. We've done it before, but we can't stop it unless we do it that way. Why? Because we've tried this before. We've had pioneers come before and Black Panthers and the Brown Berets and tried it before, but they failed. And the reason why they failed is because the Lord wasn't with them. They didn't fail because they didn't have the push to do it, or they didn't have the passion to do it. They failed because the Lord wasn't with them. And the trials of life just ate up these organizations. Also, the white man infiltrated these organizations and destroyed them. But without the Lord, we can't do it. But see here, we could get the evil from away from our people. We can make an example of all of the crime, all of the sexual assaults, the drug dealing. You imagine coming outside of your house in one morning and you find a neighborhood drug dealer, he's hanging from a pole. That will send a clear, striking message to anybody that is selling drugs to don't do it. Right. Or you better get up out of here. You better get out. You better get up out of this place, or you're going to have the same fate. Could you imagine coming out and someone is being stoned to death for a crime that they did commit? And this is somebody's son, somebody's daughter, but they committed that crime, and the judgment from the community was death. I think that would curtail crime. I think when a youth thinks to do some type of a crime or rob somebody or shoot someone, I think that would cross their mind, because judgment will come swiftly, because everybody knows you. You can't hide. We live in a place now where everybody is an individualite. Everybody is it's all about me, and I don't need to know anybody. Most times people don't even know their neighbors, nowadays. We come from a community where we used to know our neighbors. We come from, family groups where we were interconnected in a network of people. The Gadites, the Native American Indians. Our brother, the Issachar, still holds on in some kind of way to that family bond. You hear people talk about it a lot, about how Mexicans, their families are tight knit. They still, even after 200 years of the Spanish conquest, they still kind of hold on to it. Black people, you think you a goddamn individualite. It's all about you, me, myself, and I. You know what I mean? And then when something happens, you're calling to the community. Then when, then when your daughter is missing, now you're on Facebook saying, can you please help me? Can you share this? You understand? We need to get back to being a community again. And what integration did was make us individualites, made us, individuals instead of people who seen ourselves as one in a community. You understand? And that's what the Bible will bring us back to if we turn to it. Christianity hasn't done it. People have the same mindset in the Christian church right now today. Sunday, there'll be somebody thinking they're better than somebody else in the Christian church. You understand? The only time y'all in the Christian church get together is to go on them damn retreats and have potlucks. Other than that, you don't know anyone. You're not connected. It's just like the people in the world. If you could keep going. Salaki.
Verse 15. And if a man like with a beast, he shall surely be put to death.
And this one we done seen a lot. We done seen a lot in every nation where you have people that lie with beast. You have Esau that lie with beast. This is very well known, that lie with animals. Someone that is having sexual intercourse with an animal. Bestiality, that is fornication. These are all like, so far we done named a man, sleeping with his father's wife, a father sleeping with his son's wife, a son sleeping with a woman and her daughter, same gender intercourse, and bestiality. This is fornication. Not just what you think in the Christian church, which is adultery and casual sex. That is a level of fornication, but the law specifically states these types which are fornication. Go ahead. Verse 15.
Verse 15. And if a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death.
You got to put him to death, because if he wanna put his thing in a beast, he'll put it anywhere. Put it in a damn in a an engine. I don't know. He'll put it anywhere, in a tailpipe. I don't know. You know what I mean? But that's insane. And somebody that's willing to do something like that, they're also willing to molest and sexually assault someone too.
Right.
So they gotta go. Go ahead.
So like, if you look it up right now, there was a show on TLC of a man that was in love with his car.
In love with his car.
He'd be sitting under the car and kissing, making out.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. I don't know. They have a name for those type of people. They be in love with a tree. They be in love with a tripod. I don't know. They be in love with a chair. And it's always Esau. It's always Esau. He done got a special relationship with this tree. This tree, is the only thing that's there for him. It's always standing tall for him. You know what I mean? It's something he can lean on. That's crazy. That's crazy. Keep going, please.
Come on, Khan. You shall slay the beast. Verse 16. And if a woman approach,
and another thing, they'll kill the beast too, because now the beast think that he a person. The beast think like, you know what? Maybe I need to go get me some. Maybe I need to go take it from someone like Donald Trump. Go ahead,
Verse 16. And if a woman approach unto any beast and lie down there too, thou shalt kill the woman and the beast.
That goes for a woman too. You shall kill the woman and the beast. You shall kill the woman and the beast. This is the evil world we live in. People are doing this to this day. And they were doing it back then. They were inclined to do these type of things back then. That's why it's written in the law. If it wasn't happening, it wouldn't have been no point for the Lord to have it written down and put in law. Don't do this. Shalat said, weirdo light. Yo, weirdo light. For real. Go ahead.
Come. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them.
Your blood is on you, man. It's like your blood is on you. It's like this. You knew what you was doing. You made that dumbass decision to do that. And now that you're getting put to death, that's on you. Your lust got you there. That stupid decision got you there. That thought that was just a little spark in your mind got you there. And now you say, well, shit, I had it coming. I had it coming. That's the same with anything. That's anything in this life. You know, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, for the lack of knowledge, you do a lot of stupid things. You do a lot of terrible, hurtful things to one another. A lot of evil, wicked things to one another. And then when the death angel comes for you, you say, listen, I was expecting it. I had it coming. A wise person would do that. They say, you know what? I done shot so many niggas. I expected for this to happen.
Right.
While you laying there bleeding out, your blood will be upon you. You understand? While you laying there and your mother is screaming, and you're thinking about your children, and you're thinking about seeing your babies for one last time, then you'll realize, and your blood will be upon you for the stupid choices that you made. Go ahead, I.
Come on, verse 17. And if a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and see her nakedness, and she see his nakedness, it is a wicked thing. And they shall be cut off in the sight of their people. He hath uncovered his sister's nakedness. He shall bear his iniquity.
So you shouldn't, as siblings, you shouldn't even see the nakedness of your siblings. So a brother shouldn't see the nakedness of a sister and vice versa.
Right.
You would be cut off from the community. Go ahead.
Come on, verse 18. And if a man shall lie with a woman having her sickness, and shall uncover her nakedness, he hath discovered her fountain, and she hath uncovered the fountain of her blood, and both of them shall be cut off from among their people.
This is crazy, but it's also written there because you have people who are like animals who cannot wait, and they have intercourse during the time of a woman's flower. Excuse me. Which is terrible. And so, like anything, the Bible is, expressly against bodily fluids and things of that nature. This is something you should never do. And this is something that even, at a time when a woman would be on her flower, she would go to another house and be there for the 7 days. So they had other homes in order for a woman to be there. And if it was a situation where you had young children that couldn't stop from being under their mother, they would have to be with the mother too in that home until the days of her separation were fulfilled. Okay. But a lot of y'all is nasty like that. A lot of y'all think that is okay. And I'm talking to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. A lot of y'all think that is okay. Of course, we know that our oppressor thinks it's okay. He don't matter. It don't matter to him. I mean, he used to crawl on all fours and eat lice off of each other's bodies like wild goats. They don't care about nothing. They talk about not using, washcloths and things of that nature all the time. So we know when it comes to them, it don't matter what time of day. It don't matter. It's time to get it on when it's time to get it on. And when you think about what they talk about with the English kings, just going back, 200, well, I'll say like 300 years ago, those kings, them England, them kings, and the people like in Paris and London, right, would just, defecate in the streets. Some people would never take their clothes off, for a whole year, wouldn't bathe for a whole year. And you got to think and you're doing all of the natural things that people that bathe do, like have intercourse and have relations and, you know, smelling your breath and, oh my goodness, good night. If you could, if you could turn it off, turn that, you know, that's what they was doing. You know, maybe we might go into that. The low level of personal hygiene that the white Europeans had. I have to say white because not all the original Europeans were black. Okay, but the Caucasians that you know come from very, very humble, crumble beginnings. Oh, good night. If you could, where we at? Go ahead, Abai.
So like
say something.
they would think that showering was like a dangerous thing. Like they thought they was getting rid of not only like the natural fluids from your body, but also like a religious thing. Like they was just disgusting. They wouldn't bathe. They thought it was like something against their religion.
That's crazy. That's
East Indians, you know. Lucky.
Yeah, the East Indians are. East Indians. That's a whole nother animal right there. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother. The Hindus. I don't see how you can even eat that food. You go over there try to eat that food, you gonna die. You dead. You might as well put up some prayers to the east right after you swallow and hope that the Lord have mercy on you. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 20. And if a man shall lie with his uncle's wife, he hath uncovered his uncle nakedness. They shall bear their sin. They shall die childless.
The same thing, man. Listen, you trying to sleep with your uncle's woman. These rules are rules, you know, so that you could have a healthy family, a healthy relationship with your family. You know, these rules are set. This is the reason why they're set. So you don't, you know, destroy yourself or destroy your family. Think of what type of family that would be if a son he ends up sleeping with a father's woman, meaning that's his mother, or vice versa. The father sleeps with the son's wife. What kind of family is that? What kind of family can come back from that? We're talking about a family that's going to be destroyed for the next 2 generations, probably, because of the relationship is destroyed after that.
Right.
Who could recover from that? You know what I mean? As far as how can you recover from something like that? How can your uncle recover from you sleeping with his wife and vice versa? Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 21. And if a man shall take his brother's wife, it is an unclean thing. He hath uncovered his brother's nakedness. They shall be childless.
And if you did that with your brother's wife, that is an unclean thing, and you will never produce no offspring doing some heinous, wicked, crazy stuff like that. Some disloyal stuff, because brothers typically have a level of loyalty and camaraderie and care. Usually they do have that much and respect, but they would never do something like that. All right, what verse is that? That's
verse 21.
Verse 21. All right, you could drop that. So that's fornication. That, in a nutshell, the different types of unlawful sexual intercourse is what fornication is. Right. Fornication is not just one thing. It's definitely not what Christians believe it is. Nowhere in here did you see, of course, adultery would be fornication. That's a given, but you don't see like where people are just sex in general. Like the Christian church says, sex in general is fornicating. You know what I mean? You need to be married. Don't fornicate. Get married, or if you have, be celibate. You know. But anyway, let's see. Any questions? Anybody in the online got any questions? Go ahead and put it up in there. You got anything I bought? Oh, no sweat. What about you, Jeremiah? No sweat. Just give me a second. Now there's a video. I don't know if I can find it. Oh, it's a good video to go over. It's really good. Get a couple more precepts. Donald Trump is having peace talks with Egypt right now.
Oh, so like,
Go ahead.
I made that too. Egyptians were, a lot of people don't know, but the Egyptian royal family was so like inbred that King Tut was like, a mutant basically, because they was doing everything that was just listed right here, like sleeping with cousins and sisters and stuff like that. Like
a lot of people do that.
Right.
And that's what, oh, in fact, the so-called Jewish man, that is a trait that they found. I'm glad you brought that up. That's a trait they found in a so-called Jewish man. There's a high level of what they call what's the word? Instantaneous marriages. They try to cover it up. They call it like instantaneous marriages, was basically is incest. And that's the reason why a lot of them are born with a lot of imbalances. Poor eyesight is one of the reasons. You notice a lot of them wear glasses, especially those Orthodox ones, right? Because this incest was very high in their community. A lot of people don't know that. So I'm glad you brought that out. Go ahead.
it's like the last point is you get a class on Ammon and Moab. The reason why they look like that is because they're literally inbred.
Right. Yeah, the Moabites with a lot, and his two daughters. Khan. Let me see. Yeah, I am going to go into that video, y'all. I'm gonna go into that video with Commander General Yahanna, which is crazy, but he destroyed that white supremacist shiny Ken doll looking cat. And I want to bring out some stuff about that. So like if you ever find yourself in a debate with a pure white supremacist that just disdains and hates Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, how to just see it for what it really is. Like when we go over this with Commander General Yahanna, I'm gonna point out some things. All right, let's get I thought I had wrote it down. Also, there's a video with fake Israelite. I think he's in like GMS. The white man comes up to him with a gun, an empty gun, and gets in his face, and he puts one in the chamber like he's going to shoot him, but then the brother fights him, beats him, takes the gun, beats him with the gun. Yeah, you ain't seen that video? Yeah, it's crazy. Go ahead.
It's like you seen that video where the fake Israelites watching Israel got beat up by these two white dykes.
No, I didn't see that. That sounds terrible.
Crazy.
That sounds terrible. If you could, let's get Zephaniah 2:12, because what I've been seeing a lot is people saying that the Ethiopians have the oldest Bible. Ethiopians are God's people. The Queen of Sheba, this and that. And I just want to, let it be known that Ethiopians are not Israelites. Ethiopians are not Israelites. Okay. If you could, no, wait. Let's get Amos. No, I'm sorry. 2 Chronicles 14:12. Yeah, so people be saying that the Ethiopians are God chosen people because they have the oldest Bible. Now, the Bible as we know it today, remember what last week I was saying how dumb, was that last week I was saying how dumb Christians is not realizing that Jesus Christ was speaking from the Old Testament when he was alive. There was no New Testament. So this is why you hear people say, well, you see Christ is reciting things that the prophets before him had said. So a lot of times Christ is just saying it over again And that's the reason why, because you're looking at the Bible like the Bible was what is written down was all complete at that particular time when Christ was walking the earth. Christ was only coming from the Old Testament.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's where he was coming from, his understanding and all of that. And so you have to understand, like, you know, the Bible comes out of the people who we know are the prophets and the writers of the Bible and the scrolls. They come out of Israel, out of the land of what they call North Africa, Egypt. We're living in these different places. And so this knowledge would be in those different places. In fact, you had Israelites living as far down as Ethiopia during the time when the Persians ruled Egypt. So it's not a, you know, a wow moment because to hear that Ethiopians have the oldest Bible, that doesn't mean anything, right? Because we have to actually go into the Bible and see what the Bible says. And the Bible does not say that Ethiopians in no shape or form or fashion are Israelites. Okay, go ahead.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter, it's like 14 and 12, right?
14 and 12.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 14, verse 12. So the Lord smote the Ethiopians.
If you could go back and get some context, is there some more context? That is it. Okay, give me a little more context.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 14, verse 9. And there came out against them Zerah the Ethiopian.
Who came out against them?
Zerah the Ethiopian.
An Ethiopian came out against the Israelites with his army. Go ahead.
With an host of 1,000 and 300 chariots, and came unto Marashah. Verse 10. Then Asa went out against him, and they set the battle in array in the valley of Zephathah at Marashah. Verse 11. And Asa cried unto the Lord his God and said, Lord, it is nothing with thee to help, whether with many or with them that have no power. Help us, O Lord our God, for we rest on thee, and in thy name we go against this multitude.
Now this multitude was, what did it say, 1,000? How many people was it?
It's like a host of 1,000 and 300 chariots.
1,000 and 300 chariots. So they were more, and this has happened a lot of times with the Israelites, where you're fighting somebody that has a bigger army than you, way more than you.
Right.
Go ahead. And what did Asa do? He cried out to the Lord.
Verse 11. And Asa cried unto the Lord his God and said, Lord, it is nothing with thee to help, whether with many or with them that have no power.
It is nothing for the Lord to help, either if we have a lot or with us that don't have any power. Let that go into your spirit too. At this time where the world is turning on Black and Hispanic people, at this time when America is turning on Black, Hispanic, and people, and you are being called the criminal and the violent and the ruthless of the earth, and it seems like everybody wants to get rid of you, it's nothing for the Lord to help us who are powerless. It's nothing for us to turn and face the east and come together as one group of people, and the Lord will fight for us. Right. And we'll see things happen that we didn't even think that could actually happen. We'll see, you know, America fall in a way where it will be like, damn, like it was that easy. All we had to do was really just come together and cry out to the Lord, and the Lord will have respect on us. Keep reading.
It's like you. O Lord our God, for we rest on thee, and in thy name we go against his multitude. O Lord, thou art our God, let not man prevail against thee. Verse 12. So the Lord smote the Ethiopians before Asa.
So the Lord did what?
Smote the Ethiopians.
The Lord laid them out. Go ahead.
Before Asa and before Judah, and the Ethiopians fled.
And the Ethiopians fled. If you could get to this might be the same thing. Give me chapter 16, verse 8. It may be a rendition of the same battle. I'm just illustrating that at no time were Ethiopians what you call it friends with the Israelites or considered Israelites. They're Hamites. And then we'll go more in that. We'll get to Zondervan and we'll go into and get the breakdown. Go ahead.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 16, verse 8. Were not the Ethiopians and the Lubims a huge host with very many chariots and horsemen. Yet because thou didst rely on the Lord, he delivered them into thine hand.
That's basically recounting the battle.
Right.
But they were a huge host, a huge army, but you depended on the Lord. You leaned on the Lord and not on your own understanding. The same as when we here in America, we're going to have to lean on the Lord. We can't lean on our own understanding. You have we're going to talk about this white boy, this white supremacist that was trying to battle Commander General Yahanna, who whooped his ass. We're going to go over that, but there are a lot of white people that think in this manner. He said something to the nature of they won't allow us to do what we really want to do. Like they want to really take black people out themselves. You understand? And so you're going to need that thing. You're going to need that thing that is called faith in order to survive these last days. You cannot depend on some black militia. The last time they came with a black militia, you had people in that militia accidentally shooting themselves. And then the FBI brought some charges against the leader, and that black militia disappeared during the time of George Floyd. But my point is that we didn't showed our strength in a carnal way to the white man. We didn't showed him that we're going to fight back. We're willing to fight back, and we are. And we done, galvanized and built organizations, but all of those organizations have failed.
Right.
And like I said earlier, it's because they didn't have the Lord. They didn't lean on the Lord. You know what I mean? We have always been a few, wherever we're at as God's chosen people, whether we were in Jerusalem, whether we were in the Greek cities, in Rome, and Europe, and Africa, and in America. And so our only true power and strength is in serving our God. And you believing that, you can do it some kind of other way, you're going to be sorely mistaken as a black and brown person.
Right.
You're going to be confounded by this beast. Okay. Now, if you could give me Zephaniah. What I asked for, Zephaniah 2 and 12. 2 and 12. Zephaniah 2 and 12. And then I'm gonna play that video. We'll get into that video. I just wanted to bring that out. I have been hearing a lot about, a lot of people saying, oh, Ethiopians got the oldest Bible and they the people of God and all of this. Ethiopians are heathens. They are not the children of Israel. Just because they held in their hand some old records of, the children of Israel does not mean that they are God's chosen people. And in fact, I don't think it's older than the Dead Sea Scrolls, so it's pointless. It doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant.
Right. The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 12. Ye Ethiopians also, ye shall be slain by my sword.
That's what the Lord said about the Ethiopians. Right. So while you thinking Ethiopians are our people, and you looking at them do their little dumbass dances, you see them dance where they be doing their head and shit. Slacky. Slacky. But yeah, they're not our people. Ethiopians are a select group of Hamites, right? And then you have Ethiopians, and you have Eritreans, you have Somalians, you have Nubians, on the east coast on the east side of Africa.
Right.
But they are not us. Now there was definitely dealings with the Ethiopians. Of course it was, because Israelites went everywhere. And you do have a sect of Ethiopians that call themselves like Beta Israel that actually went back to Israel, but they get treated like second-class citizens, like anybody dark-skinned, whether you are Nigerian that's trying to be Jewish, Ethiopians that claim to be Israel, or the actual Negroes that went over there in the 1960s that are in Dimona, Israel. The Israeli government treats them like second-class citizens. Shalat said their heads are shaped like light bulbs. Shalat Cole. Yeah, but I mean that's the case. You know what I mean? And if I can remember correctly in the historical record, Abraham battled the Ethiopians, and Moses battled. Now this is not. I don't believe this is not biblical. Abraham, I believe this is when he battled the Egyptians, right, during the time of Lot. But Moses, in the historical record, because you know they have historical record of Moses actually being in Egypt. They say he went and battled the Ethiopians, and that's how Moses gained a lot of power and became a great prince in Egypt before he threw it all away when he seen what was happening to his brothers, when he seen the Egyptians, you know, brutalizing his people. Okay. So yeah, on that. So I'm gonna play this video with Commander Jenny Yahanna. We're gonna watch it for a while, and then we're gonna talk about it. Have you seen the video?
Oh, God.
You seen it? I think I need to go over this on go over this on Black Authentic Truth too.
I wonder, yeah, should we still talk to that guy or the racist friend, or do you want to just?
It's totally up to you. This
Fuck it, let's bring him on for a second.
Yeah.
Let's bring it on. Well, let's spice it up. He's a lot more he's a lot more controversial than me. I think we're gonna put our headphones on.
Oh, okay.
So we can get heated for a second, and then we can wrap.
Now I don't know who this is. What his name is, Jake Shields. I never, you know, I didn't know him. I don't really follow MMA. I guess he was an MMA fighter, but he has a podcast. Shout out to Commander Jenny Yahanna and the whole crew. The brothers was out here at the West Coast Cookout, and this is when the interview was done in Vegas.
See if I can get that in there.
You'll see. It'll be interesting. Like I said,
Not this guy in the suit
You're
here.
ready for? Oh yeah.
I'm a liar.
Yeah.
And where are you guys from?
We're from Israel. That's where all black people come from.
Are you now?
Yes, we are. That's where all
Right.
that's where all men come from. Don't you know Israel is the first nation with all
What I know is-
where real men come from?
This is what I know. I know that you niggas are so ashamed of your own history that you will do just about anything to run away from it. Even saying
I
that
know
something that is
I know
not
that
Now, this is what I want you to understand when you're listening to this. Of course, Commander, you can go watch this yourself. Commander Jenny Yahanna blazed the hell out of this dude. But what these white supremacists say, it's almost like he was a damn bot, the way he's talking, like he's reading from a script. And this is one of the main things they say online, is that when we say we're Israelites, that we're ashamed of our history. How are we ashamed of our history and who we are? Well, we specifically base who we are on the fact that we are the only people that came through the transatlantic slave trade, which was, probably the worst, not probably the worst, Salakia, the worst slavery that the world has ever seen.
Right.
So how is it that we ashamed of our history when we fully embrace our history? We fully embrace it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, like in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, I'm not talking about other black people. A lot of other black people are just like white folks. They want to put the past in the past. But we embrace our history, and because we embrace our history, not only from slavery, but before slavery, that's how we know who we are.
Right.
That's how we know who we descend from. That's how we know we're the children of Israel, and that's how we know that men like this are the children of Esau.
Right.
Okay, let me keep playing. Oh, go ahead, Ibot.
So like if I man, and he's so crazy that the white man is saying that we're ashamed of our history.
Uh-huh.
When every time we speak about slavery in America, they like, oh yeah, slavery was so bad, we sorry it happened, and they move on.
Exactly.
And they trying to wipe all the files, everything clean from the Smithsonian that had anything to do with slavery.
Exactly.
But we ashamed of our history.
But we ashamed of our history.
Kinda crazy.
Excellent point.
yours is
I know
yours.
you white boys have such low self-esteem when you get around us that all you could try to do is call us black in the word in Latin.
Now, what Commander Jenny Yahanna just said is like, you got to really see, the first thing he said was basically an insult. You're ashamed of your history. He said, "You niggers." I'm gonna say that. I don't know why this guy Jake bleeped it out, but he don't. I don't know. I gotta learn some more about YouTube. But he didn't bleep out when Commander General Yahanna was calling them all type of bitches. You know what I'm saying? He didn't bleep that out for whatever reason. But he said the N word. And Commander General Yahanna said, you know, it's crazy how that's the only thing you white boys can do is call black people black. And he's going, it's over the white man's head, right? Because the meaning of the word goes back to Negro, which is black. Goes back to the Latin, which Commander General Yahanna said. Let me keep going.
Let me tell you something. You might think we are niggas and nothing else. But guess what? You had to rape our daughters to produce.
How many daughters are you guys raping now?
We didn't rape your
How many daughters and wives and mothers have you niggas raped?
Wait a minute. Your grandmamas raped us in slavery. Your grandma.
So now you guys are doing it back for revenge.
Your grandmother had to.
So are you guys doing it back for revenge now?
Put that thing on her because
are you guys doing it for revenge now? Yes or no?
Right? That's
See,
what
this
she
is
had
why
to do.
talking to
Say
these
that again?
people.
So now he can't even see that Commander Yahanna is blazing on him because when you sit down with a white supremacist and all his talking points are like Charlie Kirk level talking points, the only thing you can do is blaze on him. You know what I mean? Blaze on him back. Like we know Commander Yahanna could have had a civil discourse with this white man that came in a nice suit and, you know, looking like he can have a nice discourse without making, you know, racial attacks, but he couldn't. So Commander Yahanna did what every brother in I.S.U.P.K should do, is blaze on them. Now, that's not every situation. If someone is really trying to understand what you're saying and really trying to get touch bases on where are we coming from, which they are not, then you could do that. But usually, like this cat, he's full of all of the rhetoric that white conservatism spews on a daily basis about black people. 13%. You rape, you do this, you do that. Meanwhile, they overlook everything that their community does, being that they are the number one in raping women. They're number one in molesting children, number one in pedophilia, number one in every damn thing. But in his head, black people are the problem. These Israelite niggas are the problem. And so the only thing that's even logical to do is just blaze on him and bring out the crimes, the atrocities of his race. Because you gotta constantly remind them, because white people don't like to see a mirror. They don't like to look in the mirror. You understand? Let me keep going.
Say that again.
This is why talking to the Hebrew black Israelites is completely ridiculous.
It is. You guys are a prison gang. That ain't man enough to handle the conversation.
He said you're a prison gang. Now, we done heard every racial stereotype that we've usually heard since we in the truth. We a prison gang. We commit crime. I mean, what is he actually talking about? Did he just come on the show just to make those points? Just to say that? Instead of actually saying something or having a discussion or bringing out something that is actually making sense. He's not making any sense. What he's doing is just spewing the racial stereotypical stuff that they spew, that they can say online. Keep going.
Shit. When you're a white boy,
gang.
when
you talk over everybody,
when your default,
you talked over me since I came on. You haven't shut your.
Let him talk. I know he's insulting you, but let him talk for a second. So you can. I know you're.
He has not. I've came on, and the only thing that he's done is sat there and try to talk over me the entire time.
Oh, got you. Say that again.
The only thing that you have done since I have come on here is try to talk over me the entire time.
No, I actually let you speak in the beginning until I saw that you just had such a low self-esteem. I thought
what is low self-esteem
to you.
What low self-esteem do I have?
Who's low self-esteem?
I think you're projecting.
You know what you are? You are a white boy who all your life have always wanted to inspire to aspire to be better than black men. I bet you got beat up in school, didn't you? They must
No, I
have
didn't
beat
actually.
your ass. Yes, they did.
No.
Where you grow up at? Where you
No.
grow up at? See, that's
In New
why
York.
listen, Newark, New Jersey?
I
You
said
grew up
New
in
York.
Newark, New Jersey.
I grew up in New York.
In New York. Oh, they definitely
Yeah.
beat your ass. They definitely beat your ass. That's why you
Well,
the
so
way
are you saying?
Sure
Wait a
you
second.
are. Listen,
Wait a second.
I
Wait a
grew up
second.
in
Wait a
New
second.
York too. We
Can-
used to
can we
kick
just-
you white boys. Which
Here,
one? Bensonhurst?
Wait a second.
Let him
Wait a
talk
second.
for a
Howard
second.
Beach? Howard Beach?
So I'm just
What
curious.
area?
I'm just
What
curious
area?
now.
Don't be
Manhattan.
a bitch.
Manhattan.
What area?
You got
Where
Manhattan.
in
Let
New
him
York
talk
did
for a
you
second.
grow up
Go
at?
ahead, chimp out.
Where?
No, it's fine.
Where?
It's fine. Go ahead.
See,
You
I told you
chimp
he
out.
ain't
Chimp
nothing
out.
but
Go
a
ahead. Go ahead.
bitch.
Nick.
Listen,
Go ahead,
stop
Nick.
acting like
We'll just
such
do
a
2 or
chump.
3 questions.
Simple
and then,
question.
Let's do 2
I'm
or
gonna
3
give him the
questions. and
floor.
we'll
I'm gonna
wrap
give him
up.
the floor.
Yeah.
Give me
Yeah,
a
yeah,
simple
these are the two
answer.
most racist people
Where
I
did
know.
Where did you grow up at, chump? Where
I
did
grew
you
up in
grow
New York
at?
City.
Would you look
Manhattan.
Look at you with your little tight suit on. You want to look tough with a tight
It's not
suit
looking
on.
tough, it's just
You's
looking
a bitch.
professional.
Where in New York
I
did
look
you
much.
grow
I
up
look
at?
much sharper than you.
Where
Than
in
you
New
do.
York did you grow up at?
I
Say
just
it.
said. I've answered this question
You
already
said
like
New
3
York City.
times.
Where?
Well, if you shut your nigga mouth, then you would hear the answer.
Where?
I've already
white
said
boy?
the answer
Where?
like 3 times.
Where?
I said Manhattan.
Oh, you're a liar. You're a liar. You grew up out there with them Guidos and the rest of them.
Oh, you're talking about on
chumps
Long Island?
out
I
there.
lived in Long
Not
Island
in
for a
Long
while
Island.
too.
No. Out in Queens.
lived
You
out
wasn't.
there.
You didn't even get to Long Island. You grew up in
Right.
Queens. Got you a
Can
little
we
BS
can we
job,
move the conversation
and-
along
now
to
you wanna
things that
move it
actually
on.
matter,
Now you
or are we
wanna
just
move
going
on.
to
It
sit
matters
here
a
and
lot.
talk
You know
about where
why?
I'm from?
You know why it matters a lot? Because
Right,
your racism
sure.
is only based on your
Let's just-
lack of manhood.
Let's just try to do 3 or 4
That's
questions,
all it
and
is.
we'll move on.
Like I could have seen
okay,
if you'd
without-
got on here and brought a good point, but you
I
just a
can.
man
If
with
you
lack.
bothered
You
to
just a
be
man
quiet
that
for a
has
moment,
never
I would have
measured
plenty
up.
of points.
How about you guys both act?
He didn't get on there and bring no points. He got on there speaking racial stereotypes, and Commander Yahanna turned the heat up on him.
Ask each other a couple questions real quick.
Yeah,
and then
did you
we'll
play
wrap it up.
sports? I've been asking nothing but questions. Did you play sports?
I did.
What'd you play?
Well, I played basketball for a time, and then I realized that sport was retarded, and I turned to fighting.
Oh, basketball's retarded. The sport.
Oh yeah, it's a sport.
The sport. Oh, it's a poor thing. Poor
Yeah,
thing.
it's a sport.
They
It's
must
a
have
waste
really
of time. I
handled
mean,
you.
no, it's a waste of
They
time
must
because
have
the
really
skills that
took
you
your
learn in there,
masculinity. You
the
went in
skills
that
that you
locker
learn
and
playing
saw them
basketball are
big dicks and was
useless.
fucked
They are
up,
useless.
but You was fucked up. Let me tell you something, man. You have had a horrible life, and here's why: because you had to live with men that were better than you. See, that's what happens to
You mean those
little
same
white
men?
boys.
You mean those same men
white
that burn
boys,
cities down?
You
Now
little
listen-
white
listen to what
boys.
he
You mean
said.
those same men that are like
Listen.
lining?
Commander Yahanna said you had to live with men that were better than you, and what he responds with is the same men that burn cities down. That is another conservative talking point. That when the George Floyd riots happened, that black people burned the cities down. He's going to also talk about going to Irina Zaruska, the girl that was unalive on the train, and just those racial stereotypes. Listen.
Up on the EBT
Listen,
stamp line?
you white boys like you.
You mean those same
Let me tell
men
you
that are?
He said those black men lining up on the EBT line to get food stamps. White people get more food stamps than anybody in America. Let me start it over.
Men that were better than you. See, that's what happens to
You mean those
little
same
white
men?
boys.
You mean those same men
white
that burn
boys,
cities down?
You little white boys.
You mean
that-
those same men that are like
Listen.
lining up on the EBT
Listen,
stamp
you
line?
white boys like you.
You mean those
Let
same
me tell
men
you
that
what
are
happens
slashing
with you.
people's
As a
throats
young
on the
boy,
subway of New York
you
City?
start to
The same
come into the
people that
world
are
and you start
stabbing
to
young ladies
realize
on trains? Are you
that
talking
you
about
gotta
those
grow up
people?
and live with black men.
Are you talking about those
and
people?
then you find out.
Wait,
that
I'm just
black
curious.
men
What people are you
tougher
talking
than
about?
You. And
Right.
then you try to go into sports. You probably went in there and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that basketball." And then you went in there and found out you
All right,
wasn't
we're talking
shit.
over each other. We'll
All right,
just
let me-
two or three minutes,
please.
and then we'll
Hey.
just go. Let him answer you like.
I'm gonna stop right there I'm just want to say, when black people say, you know, the reason why white people are treating us this way is because look how we act. Look at what we're doing in Chicago. Look at how we treat our women. Look at look how our women act, how they twerking and everything. And black people make excuses to say, you know, that's how we find ourselves in a good relationship with white people. This is the proof that it does not matter. White people, listen, they're a type of white person that is just like their forefather.
Right.
Their forefather Esau. If you could, give me in the scripture in Genesis where it talks about the days are coming when my father is gone, that Esau was going to kill Jacob. I want you to understand why we're in 2025, and with all the issues that white America has, white men like this greasy Ken doll with a suit on is hyper focused on black people. And it's in the scriptures. It's in the scriptures. There are many men just like him. But remember, the ones that matter are the ones that run the government, that actually run America. There are men like him that actually run America, and they enact laws, and they live a life separate from people who are at the bottom. But they make the rules, and they think just like him. But you have guys like him that grew up around black people, said he played basketball. You know what I'm saying? White man can't jump. And then he decided to go into MMA. And like Commander Junior Yahanna said, you had a horrible life because you got around black people, black men, and realized that you couldn't match against them. Right. Realized that they were better than you. And so that's where you're coming from. But it's also spiritual where he's coming from. He has all the time in the world to focus on white problems, to focus on the opioid crisis, to focus on the fentanyl crisis in the white community, to talk about those things and how them drugs get into his community. But he wants to talk about black people and how much he hates Hispanics. I seen a video with him where I didn't know who he was, and I still don't know his name, but where there were 3 Ephraimites that came onto the live stream with him, and they were cheering like, yeah, man, we love you. We love you. And he's shaking his head. He was like, I effing hate you guys. I don't like you. Like and you should have seen the look of shock on their faces. He's an extreme white supremacist racist against black and brown people. But he gets up here against Commander Junior Yahanna and looks like a goddamn child. Right. Looks like a child, a chump. You know what I mean? A boy. And basically regurgitating the same points that are all online. This is the same shit, excuse my language, this is the same thing that white people say in the comments of most videos where there's some story with black people and white people. The same exact thing. They do all the crime. They burn down cities. They getting all the welfare in the EBT. They leave their kids. They sexual assault our women. This is the same thing. He didn't come with one cohesive argument at all. So far, I haven't watched it all. I watched about 10 minutes, and we're not going to go that far into it, right? But he didn't even come with a valid argument about black people. You know what I mean? Their whole argument is sitting on the foundation, is sitting on the foundation of racial stereotypes. That's it. Please give me that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 47. Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
Now, Jacob, which means supplant, he supplanted Esau, his brother, and got the blessing of his father. You understand? And Esau hated his brother for it. And keep reading.
And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
The days of mourning for my father are at hand, and then I will slay my brother. I will kill him. Meaning, once my father passes away and no one is looking, I'm going to take my brother's life. And this has been the spirit of white people since the beginning of time. I'm not going to say all white people, but as a nation of people, this is their spirit. And this is why it's so important for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to wake up and see the truth. See the truth of the nation that you're actually living under. See the truth of the people who are actually your neighbors. I say it all the time. If all hell breaks loose And if there is no rule of law and there's a natural disaster, something happens where there's no emergency services, there's no communication, you're not have no ability for communication, you're going to see the animal come out of these people. You're going to see that same spirit that we just read about come out of them. Right. It has before. And so give me Ezekiel 35:5. And so this is what you got to understand when you see these people, how they can't let it go. Right. They can't worry about white problems. Black people, they are obsessed with black people being the problem. They are obsessed with what is going on in the black community. They have no, and you got to think this has to be a sad existence, like in the reality. Think about it in reality. Think about it in reality of a black person. Think about yourself. Hating white people so much that all you can think about every day is about the crime white people is committing in their community, the drugs white people is selling in their community and not going to jail, the slavery and the genocide white people committed and they never paid for it. That's not black people. That's not Native Indian people. That's not Mexican people. We don't even care. We're trying to move on with our lives and live our lives. That's what we are doing. We are pushing forward and trying to live our lives and not even focusing. Now, black people see the injustices. They see how white people get treated when they get put over versus black people. And we talk about it and we say some things about it. But on the big picture, black and brown people do not care about white people like that, where we're thinking of every day about how big a criminal they are, how they getting away with this, how they sucking up all of the resources, how they doing this and doing that. We don't care. Right. And that's why that's how you know we are different from them. We have a totally different spirit than them. The Lord put something in us that's different. The Bible says the meek will inherit the earth. Right. The meek are people who take the punches and keep going. Whereas the devil that the Bible speaks of, Esau, his whole mind state is to rule with the sword. His whole mindset is fight, fight, fight. And when you fight all the time, you have to worry all the time. Right. They're constantly worried about what black people are going to do to them. Black people, the crime in Chicago, the crime in Los Angeles, the crime in urban areas, they're constantly worried about black and brown people when they are the biggest monster and devil in America. That's right. It's because their spirit is the spirit of their forefather. They are the nation of Esau. They are the Edomites that the Bible talks about. And black and brown people need to learn that you are the real Jews that the Bible talks about. You are God's chosen people that the Bible talks about. And that is why you could care less about what white people got going on all the time. And you're not in their business and you're not trying to police them. You're not trying to be a policeman and a Karen because it's not in your spirit. Right. Just hold that. I'm going to play a little more.
2 questions and then you guys have 2, and then let's move on.
Go ahead, poor boy. Couldn't measure up in basketball. Yeah. How far did you get?
Let him ask your question.
Did you go past high school? Did you play in college?
Are we gonna talk about things that matter?
What happened to you, man? I'm sorry.
Listen, I just want you to understand. I just need you to understand.
We could be bullies sometimes.
I don't really care.
Do you got a tanning salon at home?
How much you want to chimp out?
House, don't you?
The only thing that it really does is it proves exactly what I've been talking about for years. That these animals are capable of civil debate. That's why the only thing they really understand is violence.
Animals.
So when he got a chance to actually talk, he didn't say anything. It only proves what I've been saying. I've been saying for so many years that these animals, when they get a chance, they can't have a civil debate. Meanwhile, he came on with not having a civil debate. He came on with, racial epithets and stereotypes. Let me keep going.
He is the leader of a prison gang.
Let me tell you something. Okay? Don't lie on me. See, you such
no,
a
it's bitch. Not a lie. It's not a lie because I went to prison. I went to federal prison and I seen
fella.
He went to prison. Oh, so he's an ex-con. He's an ex-con.
I seen exactly what the black Hebrew Israelites are when they were in prison.
Planning to be
they were selling
guy.
drugs. They were raping other
black
inmates.
Men just destroyed your life.
Okay, they were raping other inmates.
I know.
They were causing chaos and radicalizing other black inmates that hate white people.
You know what
I seen them do this.
You know what you filthy Russians have done?
Okay.
You know what? You slaughtered your own leaders, the whole entire Bolshevik family.
That was Jews too.
The Bolsheviks are Jews.
Yeah, they were your people. They were still
They're not Russian, they're Jews.
They were Russian.
That's why they killed the white Russian family. That's why they killed the white Russian monarchy.
And they were the best family.
What are you talking about? What is he talking about?
You haven't had shit since then. And listen, and many of your leaders today
is this fucking
still
serious?
mixed inside. Your leaders today are still mixed with them.
I don't think we're going to get too much.
No, you're not going to get anywhere. Especially, I'm surprised.
He's getting.
I'm surprised you even have this mongrel
he's been a
on.
punk his whole life. For the first time in his life, he's finally finding out why he's been so wound up like a top and he's been such a fucking failure in his life. I'm giving him tough love. This is good. This is what men do to men. Men teach men not to be a bitch like you. Men teach men that you don't have to wear a tight suit to try to act like you're tough.
At least I have a suit.
You understand?
At least I have a suit that fits me, you fat nigger.
Accept that shit.
At least I have a nice suit that fits you, fat nigger.
Okay? Accept that shit.
Yeah. Can you even stuff those tits into a suit? Can you even stuff those tits into a suit?
Don't you?
Who raised you? Who raised you, mama?
Listen.
Who raised you, mama?
Listen.
Where's daddy at?
We're not going after your
Where's
white
dad?
girls no more, okay? I'm trying to help you out. We're starting a new leaf. No more of them flat ass white girls for us.
Right, whatever. I know my dick. Yeah, I know my dick.
You understand? Okay, and listen, it looked like you got Vaseline on your face. Is that Vaseline? Oh, you want to be a nigga so bad.
No, nobody wants to.
Myself into
I'm gonna stop right there. But Commander General Yahanna really torched this white man.
Right.
Torched the hell out of him. Right. Salakia, Salakia, I don't know. Let me see. I don't even know if they could have, because y'all couldn't see that.
They should have been able to see it. Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. Because of that, let me just do some more.
For what reason? For what reason would anybody want to be part of this absurd, idiotic, mongrel people?
You know why?
For what?
Because you get into
they have accomplished nothing,
and you lose.
There has not been one invention.
You see, there he goes again. That's another one of those racial stereotypes. They haven't accomplished nothing. There hasn't been one invention. He's like a low-level Charlie Kirk, where he's saying things. And when you really fact check them, if for somebody that's, that doesn't know, they think that because he has a suit on, what he's saying it so confidently, what he is saying is the truth. When you fact check him, you'll see that it's all lies. And these are racial stereotypes that these conservative types, these extreme white supremacists, that they spew on social media now.
Out of the continent of Africa, the entire length of human history, there has not been one thing that these niggas have accomplished.
You stupid?
They didn't even have the wheel. They had no spoken language. They had nothing. If it was not for colonization, and which they are still doing right now, despite colonization, they are living in mud huts. You want to see? You want to see? Let me show
closing arguments.
And the general was basically cutting them. Like, you was in caves. Well, many people don't. Many white people don't even know their history. They're so smart. You understand? They're so smart about what's going on with black and brown people, but they don't really know their history. That they come out of the caves. At one point in time, very recently, they were called wild men. They walked on all fours and they were hairy. You understand? And they were eating out of the skulls of their ancestors. This is, verifiable facts of the white race. And so they think they are so sophisticated, and that, we created this world, when really what they have done is basically just stole everything. Right. And basically, once they infiltrated and invaded different countries and infiltrated the countries by stealing wives and things of that nature, then eventually when these people are wiped out, they claim the identity. They claim and say, well, we were the ancient Greeks, when they were not the ancient Greeks. The ancient Greeks were a Negroid people, a Japhetic people. They were a dark-skinned race. They claim to be the Egyptians. The Egyptians were a Hamitic race. They were Africans. They claim to be Native American Indians. They claim to be, Romans. They claim to be all of these groups that they never were there. They were at a low state. They claim to be the Moors. The Moors brought civilization to to Europe. The Moors, and with some Israelites that were already living in the Iberian Peninsula. And then in around the 12th, 13th century, white people rose back to prominence. And when they rose into prominence and infiltrated all of those kingdoms of Britain and England and all that, what they did was started to repaint all of the images and whitewash and knock off noses of sculptures. You can't go anywhere without finding a knocked off nose, because white people, what they have done is basically try to rewrite history. And so white people today think that, we're great. We did everything. Like, if it wasn't for us, you'll be in a mud hut. If it wasn't for us, you'll still be in a teepee. We're the reason why it's so great. When in reality, they sit on the back and the blood and the bones of God's chosen people to get it. All of the accomplishments that black and brown people have given to America, all of the wars that black and brown people have fought in. I just went over it. Didn't I just go over it about the Scouts last week, about how the Native, without the help of Native Indians, they wouldn't have been able to conquer Native Indians. Without the help of black people, they wouldn't have been able to conquer the Indian tribes. White people would just be on the East Coast. There wouldn't be no westward expansion. But I just want you to understand all of his arguments were juvenile. Just step back for a minute. Take the emotion out of it, what you just heard him say, the N-word a million times, and then everything he literally said, you can go on Google and find some white supremacists saying it. It's a juvenile argument what he came with. And Commander Yahanna just blazed on him and just torched his ass. But I want you to understand where they are coming from. So if you could give me Ezekiel 35:5, and we'll end with that.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel.
This is talking about the Edomites. This is talking about Esau. This is talking about the same family, the same race, the same people of the progenitor Esau that we read in Genesis, where he said, when the days come that my father has passed, I'm going to kill my brother. And that has happened throughout history, where they have had a certain level of evil and lack of compassion. You want to understand why they can't just say, you know what? I see the things happening with the gun violence on the black community. Let me look at the factors. When I was coming up as a youngster in the middle school, they spoke a lot about cause and effect. That was really big. Cause and effect. You ever heard that about? Cause and effect. Let me see. Let me not just look at the end result. Let me look at what caused this. Let me look at how it got there. They don't think about that. They only think about that when there's a mass shooter. Right. And they say, oh, well, he couldn't get a girlfriend. His father wasn't in the home. He had struggles and trouble. He was in foster care here and then one foster care there. I mean, what do you think? He's dealing with mental health. They don't think about that with black people.
Right.
But the crazy part is black people are hurting other black people. Their biggest problem is Chicago. Their biggest problem that they talk about is Chicago. Black people hurting other black people. You hear it all the time. Well, this week, what a black person, he started off by, he said something like that. He said something in this interview like what'd he say? Next week, 50 people are going to get killed in Chicago. You know what I mean? What about the 50 people that are going to be killed in the next weekend? They're only worried about that. They don't even care, right? And that's fine. That's fine. But black and brown people don't care about what's going on in the white community. But now we have to care, and you have to pull it and put it in their face. Every time they try to bring up something that black people do, you got to let them know you the number one murderer of the earth. You're the number one person molesting people. You're the number one pedophile. You're the number one in bestiality. You're the number one in sexual assault. Black men are more likely to be in their house. They're better fathers than you are. They're more involved with their children, eating with their children and reading with their children. You got to put it in their face that black and brown people are better than them.
That's right.
You understand? Give me that,
By the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee.
The Lord is going to prepare this nation unto blood, and Donald Trump is leading the choo-choo train straight to that lake of blood.
Right.
You understand? They have a perpetual hatred, a never-ending hatred. So you can't get emotional when you hear a white supremacist like this or like Charlie Kirk. Excuse me. You got to understand that they are who their forefathers are. They have the spirit of Esau, and they have no reason to even be focusing on black problems, but they are. They have no reason for black people to always be in their conversation, but we are. And the reason is because the Lord made them that way. So you have to understand that whenever these white supremacists try to, come with all the racial epithets and the racial slurs and the stereotypes, you just hit them with the truth about their people.
That's right.
And that'll crush them, like you saw with Commander Yahanna.
Right.
That white boy was speechless. All he could do is think about the things he had written down on a piece of paper, all of the racial stereotypes, like Charlie Kirk. All right. So with that, that's the class. All right. I appreciate Israel for y'all to rocking with me. We started late, but we still got it in. And we'll be back next Wednesday. All right. Let's clap it up. Hey, shout out to the brother Shakat, Sister Kapal, Leonard, Sister Asa, Shalat, and Sister Miriam and Olivia Arnold, Real Jake 44. All right, Israel. We'll see y'all next Wednesday. Shalom.